This is the Fowler show here today, and this I thought I'd never had to get this person on my show because because you're quite what's the word? Quite large in the community.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's a good word. Large in many areas.
That's my my opinion, but again, I can be left up to the viewers of this. But to me, you're quite a big guest for me. I'm just trying to find you on my system because I have
take your time. We've had enough issues, and while you're doing that live, I'm going to do a quick little video here.
Yeah.
While you're getting your stuff together.
Yeah, I think I mean live. This is why I do it live because it's the best. And
I'm doing this live. This is a shout out to Alan Funk. And Alan, I'm on somebody else's podcast, and Alan, I want to tell you that I think it took 23 minutes for me to get my shit together, rebooting, because my computer did the same thing. So Alan Funk, you're not the only one having issues with this. And I'm wishing everybody out there besides Alan a wonderful day. And we're going to promo Edward's show after this. And we want people to follow him and bless his life and give him lots of support because he's out there trying to provide some entertaining and quality content.
Yes.
On that note, buddy,
thank you.
Have a great night, and we'll get back to Edward's show.
Yes, indeed. And I'm just doing my last little bit here because on one screen it's at the bottom, and on this other screen it's on a different bottom. So
I'm looking at my makeup. I didn't do too good of a job today. You don't have to worry about that. No. Unless you're a drag queen at night that we don't know about.
Oh, no.
Floating around the streets of Oxford.
Oxford, I like it. Well, you can see on the screen, Goldilocks is here. And to anyone who may not know who Goldilocks is, she's been everywhere, kind of thing. She's been in wrestling. She's a singer.
Way to start the show off making me look like a whore. No, I'm not everyone.
No, you are great. You are great. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Because I've seen footage of your work on YouTube and on the Impact Plus app, and I thought, because I didn't know you were on social media kind of thing. So when I searched for you a few weeks ago, you came up and I thought, wow, you've got a good following. And then I seen a picture because I follow Dixie Carter on Twitter. I have to because I met her briefly back in 2009. Got her autograph in Manchester, England. That's where I am. At a TNA show, of course. Why not? And she appeared on a documentary over here in the UK last year with Anton Deck, DNA Journey. So she's related to Deck Donnelly, who is a TV presenter over here. And you two, of course, hooked up. And that's where I came across that photo. And that's where I came across you. And I emailed you. And at first, it was quite hard to email you at first. Thinking, how can I get in contact with you? Because you had all these different websites associated to you. Because you're a very busy person.
Yes. It's all good, though. You got to get out there.
Yes. and I appreciate you for having your time to be on my show.
Absolutely. Anything that we can do to talk and promote, I think it's really great to cross promote. I've got only one thing whenever it's time that I want to ask your following to do. It's a call to action. It's cool. We'll talk about that when we talk about it. But other than that, I really want to, I know how difficult it is since I've got my own show actually on Vince Russo's brand on the Realm Network, and every week I have to produce an hour-long show. And Edward, that's definitely a challenge sometimes, because even when you have a guest lined up, that's not going to bore people to tears. They flake out, or they're drunk, or they don't wake up, or they have computer problems that waste your time for 23 minutes. And it's definitely a challenge sometimes. So anytime that I can help out or give a decent interview and take up some people's time during the day, I want to do that. So I really appreciate you asking me on.
Yeah, well, when I emailed you, I did not expect to get a response and kind of thing. So
that's a pretty shitty, dismal outlook, Edward. If I was
I know,
so cold and say, brother, get it together. And I got to tell you, it's nice to talk to another, person with a show, podcasters. I went on a really dismal date. I don't know, a couple months ago, and the only reason I went on the date was from default. Like I had, we've got a project coming up, and I was looking for a specific look, and it was a celebrity lookalike, and I cast all kinds of things in Los Angeles Craigslist. That's a great place to start. You're not going to get any shade there. Los Angeles Craigslist, Nashville Craigslist, like all of the forums. And I said, must look like this. And I gave very clear, deliberate photos of this celebrity. And I wanted to ask some of the people submitting, like, are you blind? Or do you have the intelligence of a 1-year-old? Like, literally, you couldn't ask for people submitting so far off of what I was looking for. And I was getting really frustrated because I was willing to fly somebody in for it or grovel to my friends for points, airline points. And then I was at the gym and I saw this guy that I kept like covering up like part of his face. And I'm sure he thought, like, who's this whack job? And finally I just approached him and said, excuse me. Yeah. Hi, I'm Goldy, and I have this project that we are doing. Our band is, and you would be perfect. What do I have to do to get? Well, anyway, we kept in touch. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I've got some stuff that you would need to wear in the video. Let's meet up at the gym and try it on you, and I'll take a picture, and I can send it to the producer and the crew. We can see if it's going to work. And of course, Edward, that's going to lead into, well, let's have dinner. And I'm like, oh, all right, decent looking guy. Bro, I sat across from the most boring. I literally was like, please don't fall asleep. Please don't fall asleep. I mean, great looking guy, but like, if I can't find anything to talk to you about with my previous history and podcasting and live interviewing, I had nothing to talk about with this guy. And then the kicker is, he kept asking me to go to dinner. Let's go see a movie. I'm like, no, you're going to be in a video. Doesn't mean I have to have sexy time with you to be in our video. And then finally, when it was time to do the shoot, he was MIA. He didn't answer my Instagram, my text, or my email. Oh. So therefore, my long-winded story goes into, it's very nice to have somebody that interviews for a living to talk to.
Well, you're very welcome. And again, vice versa, you are the second person ever to come on my show who's an interviewer. The first person was a full-time Emmy award-winning broadcaster called Chris Van Vliet, who's a fellow YouTuber with like 4K thousand subscribers.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're the second person ever to be on the show to do that.
That's an interviewer.
Yeah, wrestling interviewer.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have sex with you, Edward.
No.
You're like, you dumb bag. I wouldn't want to anyway. No, I'm just playing.
No, we're more like friends from across the pond kind of thing.
From across the pond. Yeah. You guys always say that, and I love it. When my mom passed away, I asked people, before she passed away, when she was really sick, I would do this thing on Sundays where I would ask people of our following, hey, can you guys just write in an email about this anonymous lady? She's going through this. And then I would take all the letters, the emails, I'd print them out on letters, and I would send them physically to this person like that was sick. And people really loved it. And so one Sunday I said, I have a very special request for somebody to write letters for. And this one's for my mom, because she's getting near the end of her rope, and she feels, I think she said she doesn't feel valid as a human being anymore because she couldn't do anything for herself. And so I asked a bunch of people out there. I think 4,700 people sent in letters.
Wow, that's a lot.
And I buried her with those letters on different brightly colored little sheets of, but the reason I bring that story up is there were so many beautiful people from Britain, from London, everywhere, that they kept saying, hello, Goldy's mom, this is a friend from across the pond. They said the exact same thing, and I love that. And I'm actually working with, got to keep it under wraps, but I'm working with a company in London, England right now on a new project. And I love talking with the producer that I speak with on Skype or on the phone. It's just, you have such a different way of doing things across the pond than the ugly Americans. I get tired of us, and you're very refreshing to talk to.
Well, I appreciate that, and we always do things differently over here.
Yeah.
We I don't know why, but we just do, and many people may not like it, but I'm glad you like what we do as business over here. And we have to say as well, from your time, of course. We have to talk about your early days, back in the early 2000s. What a great decade that was. I really loved the early 2000s, even though I was only a baby to begin that decade. Well, you were doing a lot of things. And I tell you this funny story as well. When Impact Wrestling / TNA, when that began back in 2002, it it started on the day after my birthday on June 19th.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's quite nice how I had a very late birthday present of having the first ever TNA show the day after my birthday. It was quite good, very, very good, and I've always been a fan ever since. And tell us about how you got involved with TNA and some of your fondest memories, if you have any, from your time there.
Oh, a ton of fun memories. And actually, if people listening wouldn't mind going to Instagram, Goldylocks Rocks, and that's GOLDYLOCKS, I just posted a promo for my podcast, which Alan Funk was on, and I swear to God, my guts were hurting from his. Usually it's 50 minutes, maybe an hour. I think we went an hour and 37 minutes reminiscing about the old days in TNA and WCW and when Vince McMahon came. And I did a lot of stuff that I didn't know about Alan. And, I mean, he shot all over a couple guys. And I was literally had tears coming out of my eyes. And I always tell people my head was so far up my ass at the beginning of TNA, and I was arrogant and shitty, and I wasn't the person that I am today. I'm always a work in progress, but man, I wasn't the most pleasant to be around when that promotion started up. Complete douchebag. I wish I could go back in time, Edward, and change how I was, but I was just coming off of, I still had a really big record deal and living in a penthouse in Beverly Hills and driving what I drove. Yeah, I mean, but I didn't handle it right. I was okay. I wasn't a complete monster, but boy, I wish I could go back in time and be more present with the opportunity that was given to me. I knew I had a great opportunity with TNA, but I didn't, I just could kick my own ass. I wish that I would have researched these great men and women that I was working with. Mm-hmm. I just thought, here I am, let the party begin. Goldy's here, with all my musical background and the royalty that I'd written with and been in camps. And I didn't realize, just listening to Alan Funk's story, I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even realize all the stuff that this guy does. And then I remember meeting Mike Sanders, and I didn't know all the stuff Mike Sanders did. And now I looked up Mike Sanders, like, you asshole. You didn't even know how great that guy was. And then I look him up now, and he's doing all this television for USA. He was doing USA Network, and now I'm sure he's doing other things promo after promo after promo. Severe talent, and I should have done my homework. I should have not been running around, trying to date wrestlers. I should have been doing interviews off camera. I should have been writing a book and logging all this stuff down. And I just, in hindsight, I wish I could go back to that first day and just do everything differently. And I try to use, my mistakes to help and guide and teach people coming up, the newcomers, the newbies in music or wrestling or any kind of entertainment. It's nice when people listen to you, but usually they have to make their own mistakes. So I do have a lot of fond memories, but ironically enough, I'm kind of coming into my own now, all of these years later, with my own podcast, with Vince Russo, interviewing people and just being like, oh, I feel like Chris Farley. I don't know if you remember him from Saturday Night Live. He was a hefty kind of comedian. He was always like, oh, he was always hitting himself and mad. And I feel like I'm channeling the late Chris Farley with, God, I wish I could go back and do things over. But you can only live for today and fix things the best that you can and be the best that you can be now and learn from your errors. But my memories are very fond, but they're becoming fonder now that I have some clarity, Yeah,
and of course back then it was a new sport for you as well, because I bet you never.
I was an idiot. No, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I got thrown into it. My lawyer, our lawyer, entertainment lawyer, was the same lawyer as the Jarretts. The Jarretts were just starting up the promotion. I didn't know what I was doing. I even talked to Alan Funk about that, and I just said, the only two people really helping me backstage were Jeremy Borash and Mortimer Plumtree, who is from my hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Kurt Hennig was from there, and
nice.
There's a few other... Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
There's a couple other guys from Minneapolis. Mr. Perfect, of course, and his dad. And, Jeremy... Shit, where's Jeremy from? Is Jeremy from Minnesota? Maybe, I don't know. The Minnesota connection was helping me, and then I was on my own, Edward. I had no idea what to do, and all I remember is just go out there and just interview people, and I'm like, I'm an actress, and I'm a singer, but I've never done interviewing. They gave you a script, and then I had never verbally tag team match. I've never said what you've already heard your whole life, and you can let this stuff roll off your tongue, or you could read somebody's stats and dictate exactly. It's all Chinese to me, and when that red light went on, and I've got Puppet the midget dwarf jerking off in a garbage can, and I didn't even know that he was masturbating in a can. I had no idea. I was so worried about getting my statistics out right that it wasn't until later that people were like, I just thought a guy was in a garbage can because he was small and they thought it was funny to put him in a garbage can. I didn't know he was jerking off. That's how over my head. And then I remember a couple times, like I did a promo with Jerry Lynn, and it went like really south. It was really foul, really dirty, and they would just spring stuff on me, and I'd have no idea what was coming up next. And I had no clue what I was doing, but I did learn. Yeah. And I appreciate the people that were kind and didn't say, like, she just sucks. And you probably sucked at your job, too, but nobody's showing up to crucify you. So there were some people that were like, Goldy did do a good job. And I'm not your typical, like, hey, boob chick. My boobs were showing, but I relied more on, like, my talent or my disgusting faces that I would make at, like, the Dups and I
enjoyed them. I enjoyed your faces you pulled during the interviews. I think it made it more interesting. I think it made it more better. I thought with your presence there, and I wish you were still there when TNA Minutes debut in the UK back in 2007.
Oh, I would have loved that.
I would love that as well. I think it'd been perfect. But you never know; it could happen now because, of course, they bring the name back, TNA for one night only in April at WrestleCon. And
that's right.
Do you think you might be invited back since because you were there from the beginning, so really they should invite you?
I never say never, but I have not spoken with a lot of people in that office. It's all different. It's all different people running it. I mean, it's not hard to find me. You did. If they want to invite me back, of course, I would love to. I don't have any bad blood. I left on a bad note. Not a bad note, but I mean, I got fired for bullshit, and that's something that's no secret. And I shoot on the person that got me fired, and I don't even think he knows that he got me fired, and it doesn't matter. I've seen him, and I don't have any heat with him. It is what it is. And I look back and think, things happen for a reason, and maybe if I would have continued in professional wrestling, I would have been dead by now. Who knows? You can't cry over spilled milk, Edward. You have to look at, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. And I do believe when you say I'm a Christian and I have faith and I believe that, well, then you can't like limit that to like, well, I'm only going to believe now. And then I'm going to be selective and I'll believe you. You have to just know that there is a higher power or somebody who's guiding and taking care of you. And no matter what you believe in, you got to look around. Like, it's a big world and there's a lot of people in it. Like, there has to be some sort of force somewhere that is guiding things and people to be born and people to be, because if none of us ever died, that would be a pretty crowded world. You know what I mean?
It would be. Yeah,
and things have to grow and other, and new people come along, and it's part of the circle of life. If you want to quote that gimmick and that song.
Ranking.
So I don't stress about it. I'd love to come back. I'm always open. I look at everything now that my mom has passed as an adventure. She was terminally ill my whole life, but she looked at everything as an adventure. Mm-hmm. And I love to look at things through those glasses. Like, what's going to happen today? Like, don't be negative. And the next time you say something like, well, I didn't expect you to be on my show, you piss off. You got to think as optimistically and law of attraction, and don't hope. I don't like that word anymore. I mean, if somebody comes to me and says, hi, my name is Hope, I don't like shit on their name, but like, I would rather them to be named Expect, and that's something from Law of Attraction, something from the book and the movie The Secret is you should expect great things happen. Don't hope. And they use the example of, when somebody's pregnant and they're putting together nursery, they don't just decorate it and say, well, I hope this baby comes out and I hope I have a baby. you expect that baby to come out, and you decorate the room gender friendly or neutral or whatever, because you expect something amazing in this child to be born, and you're excited about it. And I think more people need to apply that concept to their daily life and wake up. I wake up every day. Well, I know shit's going to hit the fan, but I expect there to be some great things. And then there's a producer that I worked with PBS, and her name is Christy Cooper. And her husband, Ralph Cooper, is my agent in Los Angeles now. She's got a couple of different blogs, and one of the blogs is about mommies. And I'm like, I'm not a mom, so it doesn't really apply to me, or does it? And one of the ladies said, every day I make sure before I go to sleep that I thank the universe, God, angels, whatever, for 3 things. She picks 3 things and intentionally gets down on her knees and verbally says thank you for X, Y, and Z. So tonight I would say, thank you, God, for introducing me to Edward and bringing me on his audience, and maybe we can cross promote and do something there. Maybe somebody listening gets something positive out of this, or gets excited about being in the wrestling business, or
music industry,
gets excited about not being in the wrestling business. But you gotta thank and be grateful every day for at least, I say, 3 things, and then you feel better. Yes. You know, it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is a good thing. And you are an inspiration woman, and always got good. A video of that is through Vince Russo brand. Is that correct?
Yes.
$4.99 is it a month?
I think it's $3.99. Maybe it's gone up.
I don't know.
It's gone up. Vince, I want to raise.
I thought I heard something like $4.99, so I apologize for that. It might just go to Vince Russo brand, and you can find all the details.
He's an interesting guy, you know. He's
well, I've reached out to him once, didn't get a response, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe he's obviously not interested to come on my show. I've reached out to him once through his email, but I never got a response. So he probably up thinking, who's this nobody? So I don't know.
I would reach out again, but I'm just letting you know, I'm under his umbrella. I'm on his brand, and it takes me usually cursing him out, saying, would you please get back to me? And he doesn't always get back to me. And I'm on his brand. So, today I was scrambling to find you. It's just the bigger you are, it's nothing personal. There's only so many hours in a day, so much time, and that real estate just gets sucked up. And yesterday I had a lot of things that I needed to do so that I could carve out time and do your show. Mm-hmm. And then an opportunity came up. I was at an event, and some, country music stars were like, do you want to come to dinner with us? And I'm thinking, I've got 8 hours of work to do, and it's 5 p.m. Right. And you know what I mean? And you're not going to get that opportunity again. So I ran home, I cleaned up, and they're just like, wow, I'm going to go looking like I didn't look good at the event because I was there helping doing photography. I have a photography company.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of different businesses, which you can plug, by the way, so feel free to plug them all you like.
Media, and you're watching me, and I've gotten the opportunity and the blessing to shoot them. And it's really cool. I don't think I'm going to be getting a lot of business from, across the pond. That would be an expensive photo shoot.
You never know.
It's fun to go and look at all the celebrities and stars I've been able to shoot and capture, and I love it. So I came home. I came home and I changed and went out, and then it just. I know they wanted to go out really late. I can't, but I didn't get home till 1, and wow. I just got 4 hours of sleep and got up. And my point is people get so flooded with stuff that it don't ever take anything personally if somebody doesn't respond to you. And for people that are listening, please pull from all of the direct sales that I've done and the influencing that I've done, and that is learn to love no. Because all no does is give you the opportunity to try again and try again. And I see plenty of brothers out there, they just keep asking ladies, and they're nasty. And sooner or later, one of those girls will say yes and have sex with them. So I look at the people out there throwing out nets, and I'm just like, man, they just keep on asking and asking. And then I see these guys at church 3 years later with 2 little kids and a wife, and I'm like, man, somebody said yes. So. I take the sales, the influencing that I do online, and I learn to not love no's, but that just means that there's a yes around the corner. So just keep on asking people to be guests. I know how hard that is. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast or show that you do, it's challenging to find.
It is. It's hard, and I reach out to loads of different people, and I get like either one or two responses out of like 7 emails I send out. So either they're busy and don't have time to respond, or they don't go on the email as often as they should do, kind of thing.
It's all good. It's all good. And you'll find, again, we get back to spirituality and your beliefs and your connection. I always expect every day that the God that I believe in, Mr. Jesus, whatever you want to call him, I expect that he's going to send beautiful people my way. And when he sends people that aren't beautiful or backstabs me or robs me or hurts me, I know in the circle of life that there is a lesson that if I'm paying attention, that I'm being sharpened for. And there's some things that happen and you want it so badly, and you're just counting on it, and then it doesn't go through, and your bubble is popped, and I'm putting lotion on because I want to smell good, and your balloon is deflated, and you just think, man, and there's a reason for that. There's always some other thing around the corner or some other opportunity that is just being handcrafted for you, and if you would have had the other thing come to fruition or happen, you wouldn't have had time, for what's intended for you. And I'm always on my friends' rear ends for hanging in there in bad relationships or relationships they know aren't going anywhere, and they'll just say, "Oh, Goldy, what's the difference? I don't want to hurt her," and I'm like, you're dragging him through the mud, bro. Or to the girls, well, I don't really like him. I'm not really attracted to him, but he does this for me. And I'm just like, man, you're a hoe. Like, that's not cool. This guy's head over heels for you. And you're making him think that, you want him long term, and you're just keeping him around. And, well, what's the harm in it? And there's no harm in it. But if you're not open and free and ready, then the perfect person or somebody who's going to be really compatible and rock your world, there isn't going to be an opening or room for them. So, I really do. I look around and I just think, is this the day that I'm going to meet like my future this, or is this the day that I'm going to get that great opportunity, or is this the day TNA is going to contact me and say, hey, we'd love to have you at this. You don't know, but like if you have this positive energy where you're just thinking it's going to be good. I get a little shady sometimes and down and pessimistic. And then I have a very great best friend, the drummer of our band, Rod Saylor, who is so optimistic and so glass overflowing that he reels me in. So, I can be kind of Debbie Downer once in a while. I have to fake it till I make it, push myself to expect great things. And that's the beauty about every day, Edward, is you can wake up and just completely redo what happened yesterday. It's a new day and I'm a new person. You can just choose that. You can choose to be freaking cool to everybody that you meet, to be kind, to be motivating and encouraging to them, and just think of something you can do to add some value to their life.
Definitely. And you definitely do with your podcast. And I really hope that more people listen to your podcast, either on Apple or Spotify or wherever else they watched it, listen to it, or watch it through Vince Russo brand as well, with all the other podcasts on there. We also had on Sharp Boy last year from TNA.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I'm glad you know who he is. I'm glad. And he said I had to get in contact with Disco Inferno. We did that. He then called me out on Twitter by saying, who is this nobody? So, yeah.
He said that?
Kinda, not in that way, but I can send you what he said on Twitter to me last year. But yeah.
Wow, Glenn, that's really shitty, Gilberty. I mean, I've only asked you to be on my show so many times, and you blow me off. But I don't like to. I hope he didn't say anything mean to you, or that's not gonna fly.
He said, who's this Ed guy? He said, hashtag who's this Ed, on his Twitter account last year. But I can send you what he said in my tweets.
I already don't like it, and you know what? That's a perfect example of why he's not on my show, is because it just wouldn't work out. So you know what? People say all the time, we'd love to have Disco on Goldy's Closet, and he has yet to ever respond to me. And obviously, that's the law of attraction saying, you know what, Goldy, that's not for you.
Yeah.
Just what it be. And the first time I ever met him, he just insulted me on his show.
Oh.
He was degrading to me on the Disco Inferno show on TNA. It was a total shit show. He was really mean. And you know what? If that's your shtick and that's your gimmick, so be it. That's obviously, if you've been listening to anything that I've said today and how I am and how I try to improve every day and self-correct, then he's probably not the best guest for Goldy's Closet, or maybe for you, Edward.
Yeah.
You seem like a very positive, outgoing guy who's really trying to put out some fun, entertaining content like I am. So, you know what? Like I said, I think we're all protected by whatever you believe in, and maybe you're being protected because he's only been really shitty to me. So, you know who did respond to me, though, is Ben Hameen, and I haven't gotten a response yet, but he sent a very beautifully, eloquently written email to my request, and I appreciate that. And he's a very intelligent man, and I'd love to cross promote with him. And he was saying keep it in the family and on the brand, and so, you know, Ben would be somebody that would obviously be a good fit for my show or even your show, because I just go, Glenn, just come on, dude, clean it up, bro.
But back to Shark Boy, however, he was on my show, and you know, he was a cool guy. He was a cool guy, like you are.
What's his real name? What's his name?
I don't know. It's on Google, but I mean, I didn't call him by his real name. I just call him by Shark Boy, you know.
No, but I remember. I'm trying to remember. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, I was going to do I was going to say thing. I've also sent you a tweet as well, by the way, on Twitter. Oh, go on.
Is it Dean?
Yes, that's it. You're right. That's right. Yeah, Dean.
He was always super cool to me. Always super cool to me, and I would really appreciate if you would share. Is he just on Twitter? Did you reach out to him on Twitter? Did you reach out to him?
Yeah, I reached out to him on Twitter. I sent him a tweet. The next
I'm going to copy you. I'm going to copy you and reach out to him because he was always flipping amazing to me. Always super kind.
Yeah, well, I've been following for a while, and then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take a risk, reach out to him on Twitter, see what happens. He then responded to me straight away. This is at 7 in the morning my time when I tweeted him, okay? So I didn't think he'd be awake still, and he was. And he then followed me back for me to then DM him, and then I DM'd him, and then we got him on the show. And it was great. And it was a cool 20 minutes of his time. He only had 20 minutes available, because he's a very busy guy, he said. So, but it was a good 20 minutes, and I loved having him on the show. And you know who is? Guess who's my dream guest to come on the show? By the way,
who?
Of course, you know, Dixie Carter. You know, she's my dream guest one day.
I was gonna see if I could do something about that, but
you can't.
I went to go meet Dixie the other day to talk to her, and she was so busy. I drove all the way over to her home that I waited for over, and we talked for a brief minute.
Yeah.
I had my time scheduled with her, and she had to leave and take a conference call at our meeting for over an hour.
I know.
Like that, she's starting up a new company with her business, and like that chick is so busy. So
I know.
It's not. I'm telling you, it's nothing against you. It's that her time is probably valued at X amount of thousands of dollars per hour. And she's got a lot of things to run and to take care of, and so, you know, she can't just give that up. And that's what at the end of the day, when people ask me to do, well, can you just do this? And I'm like, well, my time is valued at this, and you know, therefore I can't, because I can't. Right now, I'm 40 grand in the hole, maybe 60. I should say 60 from free talks that I've done and charity work. And so, I mean, that's all said and done, but I still have to recoup probably between 55 and 60 grand with the last year of time that I've just given. And then things fall by the wayside because I got to pay that stuff.
Yeah.
Your show, if it's cool that I plug the one thing that I wanted to plug.
Yeah,
and
feel free to plug, yeah. That
is, we had, can I do this? Can I share my screen or not?
I don't know. You can try, so it might work.
See if this works right now.
Yeah, it's working on my software. Let me know.
Can you see my screen?
I can see it. Let's have a look.
See it? Can the people see it?
Let's see. I'm just going to try something here. Because at the moment they can just see you.
Can they see?
Hang on.
This. I'm opening something.
Share screen.
If my computer will actually open and do something.
There you go. Now we can see it now on your screen. I changed the screen. We can now see what you're showing.
Okay, so this is what I want to show everybody. If you can see this.
Yes, they
this
can see
right
it.
here is Jazz Part 2. And one of the songs on Jazz Part 2 was Black. And Black is by Pearl Jam. It's off of the 10, whatever album this is. I think it's 10. And Black went to, as you can see, number 2 on the Jazz Billboard album. And number one on the Contemporary Jazz album. And then I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And we're going to go out of here. Boom, boom. Stop sharing screen. Here we are back. My point is that song did really well, but we did a music video that doubles as a PSA for child abuse prevention. And that's a conversation that people just don't talk about. And it's not what you see advertised about helping kids with not just being physically abused, Edward, but psychological, mental, sexual, human trafficking. The video that we did, if you look it up, just Google Goldy Locks, and that's Goldy with a Y, Goldy Locks Black. Just Google that, and the video will come up. And here's what I'm asking for anybody listening right now, and if you don't, you can seriously pick. It's got all these. Get anybody to leave a comment, and I want to break that pattern right now with Edward and his show. Just go on there, watch it, leave a comment, and say, I heard about this. On Edward, what is the name of your show exactly? Because I don't have it in front of me.
It is The Edward Fowler Show.
Oh, well, okay. I thought
it's quite simple, but there you go.
I thought it was a little more complicated than
Nah,
that.
nah.
If you could just let us know, that you took the time to listen to the show. You made it this far into his YouTube show, podcast. I don't know what you call it. Across the pond.
Beaver. It's anything.
If you could just leave a comment there, that would be super cool. And it could be a thumbs up, it could be a heart, it could be anything. But do plug, Edward. It's Fowler. Say your last name.
It's Fowler. Fowler.
Fowler.
Yeah.
So I know an Folwer.
Oh, right.
It's like Fowler. It's backwards, and that's why it's Fowler.
Yeah.
Not follower. Fowler. Just go leave a comment. That's if I could get anything, any call to action. Of course, if you follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, that's great. Thank you. But I would really love the comment on the Goldy Locks Black. Google it, because every comment pushes the video up, helps the algorithm, and gets more traction on that. And we really want to lock arms with a couple, maybe a main, child abuse prevention company platform, and team up and do some things to help. Your comment costs nothing, and it takes probably 15 seconds.
Or less.
You can tell me that I suck.
No, don't tell that.
I don't care what you say. You can talk about Shark Boy or Edward. Just say something. I would really, really, really appreciate, you would be a friend for life if you could do that.
Yes. So help out Goldy today. Do that for it. It would mean a lot.
That's the only thing I want.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got? Some more questions for me? I've been kind of driving the ship.
I know you are, but I'm just enjoying this. Anyway, I'm enjoying this conversation. So the other question I was going to ask was about your Billboard, because you've been on the Billboard with your jazz group, which is quite good, and
it's not even jazz. Let me just tell you,
it's rock.
It's not jazz.
It's rock.
We're rock.
Yeah.
We're pop.
Yeah.
This alternative group that we are in. Even though it didn't end up being on the charts as the alternative group's name, I can tell these people about it because this is a different audience. So we've got a new group. It's signed, and it's called Sybil. Sybil. SybilExperience.com. Sybil Experience on Twitter. Sybil Experience on Facebook, on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. It hasn't launched yet. And the label was going to put out Black as Sybil. But some stuff happened, and it got released as Goldilocks. So, long story short, it was a hip-hop reimagined version of Pearl Jam's Black. Okay. It got put last minute on a jazz compilation album, even though it really didn't fit there. And because that album won number 1 and number 2 on Billboard charts, well, we're on it. Technically, that's a Billboard hit for us. So even though people are like, this isn't jazz, it's like, don't ask any questions. We're happy for the award. We got the plaque. It's legit.
Nice.
You know what I mean? You just, you take things as they come, Edward. And if it's unconventional, if you got an unconventional, weird-ass relationship and you're listening, you know what? Do your thing. It's okay. the world takes all different types to turn.
Yeah, exactly. And again, congratulations to you and your band. You know, it's great work, and I can't wait to see what you do next because, any new music coming out soon. I want to know as well where you find ideas and inspiration to come up with new music. That's what I want to know as well.
And I'm gonna ask to come back on your show.
Yes, you can.
April. Yeah, and plug the new song and the new video. And this Thursday night, some amazing wrestling royalty is coming into Nashville, Tennessee, and we are shooting for a scene in the video. I will say this is going to be very different, kind of along the lines as the last video is a child abuse prevention PSA music video, which you don't see a lot of that. But this one, the topic that we've chosen is suicide prevention. We have the most star-packed video of wrestling, rock and roll, country music singers, you name it. Everybody has been so flippin' cool and lent their experiences and their face and their time to this project. And that's going to be released on Easter. And I would love to come back after Easter. Wish everybody a great holiday or whatever you celebrate across the pond and talk about, and if possible, it would be really cool. I don't know how many windows you can have open on your platform you record your show on, or maybe try StreamYard by then. But anybody that I can get to come on your show and talk about it, we would love to do that because we're going to take the rest of the year and just promote the living hell out of this project because it deserves to have attention and light and conversations talked about. People that are feeling a little down. I know anybody listening right now, everybody gets down. And some people out there get to a point where they're not in reality anymore and their judgment is clouded and they do things that hurt themselves and they hurt their families. And it's really good to talk about that and to let people know that they're not alone and that there's help. Mm-hmm. There's things they can do to fix things and repair. There's professionals. There's free services out there. And that's the whole point of that video. So, again, I can't believe the people that are in it. You're going to freak. It's awesome.
Well, you're welcome to come back on the show in April after Easter.
I'm coming. I invited myself.
There was some sad news in the UK over the weekend regarding a TV host. Now, there's a story that came out, and the media was all over her because she got charged with an assault to her own boyfriend. But anyway, it all got turned upside down and the media went right into her. And this past weekend she took her own life. Her name was Kathleen Flack. And so this is exactly what we need, is attention to suicide prevention.
Think of how much pain she was going through and how she felt that there was no hope for her. Like it's just done. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
And you think of I look at it's a Kathy Griffin. What's her name? Kathy Griffin? Griffith?
Flack.
No, another person. Kathy Griffith, comedian, red hair in the States.
Yeah.
And she did that. I love the smell of this stuff. That's why I'm not a freak. I just keep using this really good stuff. She did that whole thing where she held up a bloody head of Trump's. Our president.
Oh, yeah.
It was in some campaign or some promo and, shit hit the fan and she lost a lot of her endorsements and a lot of her jobs, a lot of her clients, just everything went south for her. And, she has done some things that maybe are a little pushing the envelope, but I don't think that what happened to her, I don't know if she deserved it or not. I'm not a judge or jury or whatever. That's not my job. But I thought of her and I thought, man, I bet she's really down. And when you start losing revenue or people attack your brand, or it's really scary when you feel like you're destitute and everybody's abandoned you. And I can see where people get to that point where they're just like, there's nothing left here for me. Everybody has left me and I'm abandoned and I should just go be someplace else. Yeah. And it's like, that's not the answer. And the video that we're doing really shows the other side of what happens after you choose that. What happens to the kids, what happens to the partners, to the friends. Yeah. What do you leave behind? I don't think you're not thinking clearly. Yeah. So maybe we can catch you with the video and the message before you get to the point where you're so clouded that you're not thinking the way you should.
And I can't wait to see the video. And so it drops in April, This is before
on
Easter. On Easter weekend
sorry.
kind of thing.
I'm sorry for your person that that you guys loved over where you were, and that she did that. Like that's very sad.
It is very sad indeed. And again, our thoughts go out to friends and family at this saddened time. And we're looking forward. I can't wait to see the video you do over Easter weekend.
I can't wait to show you, Edward. It's a beautiful piece of work. The song is sung in 4 different languages. There are 158 mixes of the song. We've been working on it for 2.5 years. So.
Crikey. And again, it'll be posted on our social media, which are on your screen. It's been on the screen for 45 minutes in this long interview, if you like. Facebook, Goldilocks. I put your other Facebook on it. I didn't know which one to put. So it's Goldilocks, but you also got Goldilocks Band, I think it is, or Goldilocks, something like that, on Facebook.
Anything with a Y. Anything with a Y to find me. There's 13 or 14 Facebook pages, but I'm not hard to find.
Twitter, it's Goldilocks Walks, and again on Instagram, the same username as well. And I thank you for following me on Instagram, by the way, which is most appreciated. Like I came online and one morning I was thinking, wow, okay, thank you, because I've been tagging you in posts every few days, so apologies if you got those blown up posts from me hyping you up on my show last week.
No worries. Please tag me in everything. I have to promote after it comes out, so if this is live and it's gonna be out now,
it
then
will be out after this is over.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just let me know, and I will retweet.
Yeah.
I can't say that word. Retweet and redo a repost on Instagram if you do Instagram.
Yeah.
And also we'll do Facebook, and I'll do a quick little promo and tell everybody to follow and subscribe and do what they need to do for you.
Well, thank you very much, and that's very supportive of you. I appreciate it, because you don't have to do that, because you're a guest and you can just say, I've done my bit, now it's time for me to do a little bit. But I really appreciate you. I do.
Works, brother.
But the other question I want to know as well, will we ever see you performing with your band in the lovely Great Britain?
I am so optimistic about this new company that I'm working with, even though the work that we would be doing with them would be in the States. It is just so on my list to get back over to Europe, where we have performed in the past.
Yeah.
It would be an absolute honor and blast, and we love traveling abroad, and it just would be a really, really great time. So when that happens, Edward, I would expect that you would be front and center with a free pass to come hang out with us. We would love to meet you in person.
Yes, me too as well. I would love to come and meet you and the whole band and to listen to your music in person and live, kind of thing as well.
We would love that.
Yeah, I would love it. It'd be great. It'd be what's best for business. That's what I say. Best for business, all right. And you've been, your band and yourself have been on stage with some amazing artists over the years.
We have.
As well, right, from
all over the world. All over the world.
I'm surprised. I was shocked when I read it. All like, wow, you are.
Yeah.
Very, very good at what you do, and I was shocked at some of the names you guys have mentioned. Like the Pink, Maroon 5, things like that. Like, wow, holy cow! Which artists have you enjoyed performing with then over the years?
Wow, let's see. A lot of the artists are assholes. Pink is not. She's amazing. A lot of the people that you meet are real dicks, but okay. I will say the rest of their bandmates have become great friends. So maybe the front person or the person's name that holds that spot might be a little iffy, but I've just become really great friends. And I can't say who I've become great friends with, because I'll let the cat out of the bag who's the doucher of the group. But I'm trying to think of...
Well, you mentioned Pink.
I will say there's a band called 38 Special that a lot of people are going to know. Like they've been around for a while, and I'm friends with one of the guys in that band, very dear friends, Bobby Caps. He sings, plays keyboards, and he's absolutely amazing. They're great. We've opened for Three Doors Down and Nickelback and Puddle of Mud for a while back when I started wrestling. I remain great friends after the fact with Chris Henderson and Three Doors Down. He is helping me with my wellness and nutrition and macros. He's a great counselor and teacher for me and a coach. So, we're good friends, and I just concentrate on all the people that allow me into their life and are good to me. Another friend that I've been hanging out with and met, who people should check out. And I don't like to say this, and I don't usually, but I mean, she is the daughter of a very famous country singer, and she's making her own way, and she's not using her dad's name in any way. She's doing her own thing. You don't get much bigger than her dad and her bonus mom, as she calls her. But, look up Allie Colleen, Colleen. Look up Allie Colleen, and, give her a like and tell her that you saw her on the Edward Fowler show, and you heard of her and cross promote. I started out taking her photos through a record label, through my company, my photography company, and now we go to the gym together and we train. And we don't really talk about her dad or her famous life, and we just lift weights. And I think that's probably nice for her too, to have a friend in the business that's not. I don't want anything from her.
Yeah.
Real cool. I've got some really, really good friends, and this video that we're doing, we've got a new girl that's coming in with Billy Corrigan's promotion, and James Storm.
Yeah, James Storm. Yeah,
is part of that promotion, and we've got one of their girls is coming in for this surprise, and it's going to be a badass mother trucking video when it's done. It'll be a beautiful message, a great PSA, and hopefully everybody can win by being a part of it. That's how I like to do things, Edward. Is just be all about what can we all do for everybody? How can everybody walk away rewarded for their effort and time?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to give another plug. We've now gave 3 plugs. One on Chris Harris's podcast last week, the Wow Account. Chris Harris was on there last Monday, and he mentioned about James Storm as well. So we've now mentioned James Storm again. So thank you so much for mentioning James Storm. He's getting loads of plugs here on the Fowler Show. And I've not actually responded to Chris Harris yet, so apologies for people. I've just been a bit busy, so I'm not reached out to Chris Harris to see if he actually got in contact with James Storm and see if he is able to come on the show. So I will do that at some point. So please forgive me for that. Hopefully nobody will be mad at me for that. Let's talk about as well. Your current merch. Do you have any merchandise which people can buy and support you as well? Not by listening.
Yeah,
to
I mean
shows?
that's great. The merch site is the Factory by Goldilocks, but there's a lot of really great stuff on there. Everything on there is super positive and funny, silly and lighthearted and towards the light. And there's tons of music on there, or if you don't want to spend any money, which I wish you would, but if you don't want to spend any money, there's always Spotify and Apple Music and all of that. But the Factory by Goldilocks, oh my God, there's so many awesome things on there. It's a whole store like nothing you've ever seen. And I don't know, do you all over there, do you guys use Amazon? Do you have Amazon over there?
Yes, we do have Amazon. Yes, we do. We love Amazon. We love Amazon here in the UK.
Amazon, I have... it's just Amazon.com, and then you go /Goldy, what is it? /shop /Goldilocks Rocks. Once again, it's Amazon.com /shop /Goldilocks Rocks. If you go look at that, that's my influencer page. I just try shit out all day long, and whatever I like, I put it in a category. There's stuff for bros and dudes. I'm working on a whole bunch of cool furniture for like bachelors that don't know what to order and get to score chicks or score dudes if you play for that team. So I put together really cool categories on there, really cool lists of things that I've used and tried that I think would add value to your life. Please check that out. And then, just keep shopping around and clicking, and all I can say is that'll help me out. So if you shop on that very popular online shopping website that starts with an A, just please click on my site first and then go do what you need to do. And that's all I'm allowed to technically say, but it would really help me out. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, it would. And again, I'm not 100% sure that will work in the UK.
I think it does. I think it does. I think if you click, it'll
I was going to say, if it doesn't work, then
still buying some cool stuff from Amazon. I mean, I shop there. I get I get such cool stuff there. I love it.
Just copy and paste the item, and then paste it into the Amazon UK website. And I'm sure it'll be on there. So either way,
I think it'll work.
It'll work that way. But try that method though. I will say if it doesn't work, please contact Goldy and see if she can open a UK store in case it doesn't work. And then
God, no, I really do. I really do love Amazon. And there's another blog, goldyknows.blogspot.com, and I try to blog about really interesting things there. And if you're listening and you just ever need a little pick me up, really my brand is based on positivity, motivation, and encouragement. So we all need to get that from somewhere. I get it from different people, some of my friends, some of the people that I follow. But if I can help in any way, or if listening to a blonde, ex-TNA backstage interviewer, manager, whatever.
On the discussion box, I called you a personality. So former TNA personality. Whatever. That's what I've called you. I didn't really know what I was to say with it, because you did managing and you did interviewing, so I didn't really know what to say. So I just put personality. I think I'll go with that. I do get a question in, which is regarding you, of course, and it says, this is from at Mike Fullback, and he says, most comfortable interview and more uncomfortable interview. Also, her favorite and least favorite thing about recording a song.
Oh, I thought he was saying the interview now was uncomfortable. I'm like, bro.
No. No, he said that in yesterday.
Most comfortable interview
and most uncomfortable interview you've done so far.
Those are great questions. I'm trying to think of comfortable interviews would be. Geez, a lot of those guys.
You mentioned before.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you my most comfortable I will tell you all the stuff that I did with Eric Watts. He was coaching me backstage. He was coaching me off camera, so that I would do a good job. He actually cared about helping me do a good job in the business. He was one of the only ones. Some of the funny ones that I did that I look back on, who I looked forward to, was Sonny Siaki. Just always so silly and calling me Goofy Locks. And I mean, he was just very, very funny. Some of the more uncomfortable ones were in the sex locker room. It's no secret Glenn was, whether he really felt that way about me, Disco, or it was just a work, fine either way. But I never knew where those were going to go, and they caused a little bit of anxiety because I just never knew what was coming. And I mean, it's my job to just take it. I think the worst one was Ken Shamrock. In the beginning, I think he spit on me, and he was very angry. And again, that was what he was playing. But for somebody that was brand new to the wrestling business, if that's the first thing that I experienced, it stuck out as something that I was like, wow, this isn't as fake as people say it is. This is pretty real. So those are some that come to mind. The Dups were always just over the top crazy. I did some stuff with the Naturals, and Chase Stevens remains a friend in this business now as well. And then song-wise, so when I had my first record deal, it was so abusive that I don't even think I had one positive experience. The same camp I was in was when I went to apply for NWA TNA backstage interviewer, and just nothing was ever good enough for them. Nothing or any content that I did would ever be good enough for an audition, or good enough to release, or good enough to even call a song. And that was very, very hard to deal with. And if you look on Spotify, there's a song called The Chocolate Song, and it's real whimsical, and it's like, is it about a black dude? Is it not? It doesn't matter. It's a song, and it's really cool and crisp and fresh. And I remember coming out of a restaurant in Minnetonka, Minnesota, and I wanted to play my then manager, who I was dating. I wanted to play him my new song, The Rough of It. And he just listened to it and point blank said, well, it's not a song. I'm like, yes, it is a song. And he's just like, no, it's not. And everything I ever did with that guy wasn't good enough, wasn't complete. It was just, he had mental issues, God bless him, where I don't know what road he was going down or what path, but he just had his own. He was in his own lane, and I remember like that was a song when we did school tour shows in schools, talking to kids about positive lifestyles, singing a few songs, doing a little bit of talking. That was one of the songs that everybody loved the most, and I listen to it now, and it's just like, I think it's probably too high to even fly through the air, cool as a breeze, breathe down to my knees. You're the candy bar I can eat all in one bite. Can I get a little chocolate tonight? It was so pleasant, such a cute hook.
It is.
And I mean, I don't remember the words to it, but it had a good little vibe to it, and it's on there, and it's gotten like, I don't know, like 25 million streams. But I guess it's not a song, Edward.
I think it is. And you got a good voice, by the way. Your singing voice is great.
My voice is shot. Thank you. We had rehearsal, and I'm just.
I know. Yeah, I wouldn't play for your singing.
Oh no, but my point is my point is for people is, maybe you're not somebody's cup of tea, but you're going to be somebody else's cup of tea.
Exactly.
Or maybe you're not for this person, but you are for this
else.
person. That person was somebody that I appreciate everything that they have done for me, and I thank them, and I'm grateful. But they're not in my life anymore because they're toxic and destructive and negative, and they're gone for a reason. When we were departing and things were ending, it was sad, and like, you have a certain attachment to people, even if they are abusive in whatever way, verbally, mentally, emotionally. And I was sad to see him go, but like, man, is my life a better place without him in it, managing me, controlling everything? And you know what? Here's the flip side of it. And the beautiful part is his life is probably a lot better without me in it. And that's okay. People can come into your life for seasons. They can be around for a while. Maybe there's a mutual help between the two of you, and it's okay if people bounce out and go do something else. That's all right. Try to remember the good stuff. Don't dwell on the negative stuff. Move on. Don't look back, and look for the next opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And again, as you say, flip side, he's probably happy without you in it, and I bet you're happy now that he's not in your life either.
Oh God, yeah, way better. But yeah, check out that song, because it's not a song, because it's only had millions of people stream it. Not a song. It's a good point. One person's opinion is not necessarily like somebody's going to say yes. Somebody's going to say yes to you, whatever it is that you're brewing and working on today, whether it's a person you want to ask out, it's a new business that you want to start, it's something that you want to propose at work. Like, somebody will say yes. Open up your freaking mouth and try.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with you because you're right. Your points are correct. And I would love to hear your opinions about this, about all the topics we discussed so far. So leave them in the comments section below on my YouTube channel, so that we know I do respond to you. I'm not like other YouTubers who respond to a few then don't respond at all. I can't do that.
I'll respond. Anybody that's listening to this, I'll jump on. I'm pretty good about responding to that stuff.
You respond to everybody. I like to respond to everybody. I'm not a celebrity like yourself, but I mean, you've always got time for your fans, and that's why I appreciate about people who always have time for the fans to respond to comments, because it makes them feel warm that they actually read your comment and actually acknowledge you, kind of thing as well, which is great. It's a like about you and other celebrities out there in the Western community and beyond as well. I also want to talk to you about as well, because after you left TNA, you kind of was still there, kind of thing, because you did some theme tunes for some of the wrestlers there, which is really good. And
a ton.
Yeah, you did, and at the time, I did not know this because over here in the UK, you weren't on TV, kind of thing. So we never knew who you were until later on, maybe, of course, when the internet came more a big thing, and we came and found out that actually Goldilocks.
That's crazy.
Some of the big tunes for TNA for some of the great wrestlers and personalities in there, from Dixie Carter to I think even Tara. I think you did Tara's theme tune as well, and many others. And which one did you enjoy doing the most, or did you enjoy doing more?
I enjoyed doing them all. I wrote a lot for Trinity, Action Trinity, and she was appreciative, and she wore the CDs out that I gave her, like, hey, here's your theme song, and she would leave me messages where I could hear it playing in the background. Trinity, for a long time, and still does, was the first person to put me over and say, this is my friend, and promote me. And I never asked her to do that. She did it on her own. She was very proactive on helping me and being a great friend. She's been an incredible friend to me in the business, and just authentic. And, you know, just like you're saying, when you respond to I don't like the word fan. I hate that word, and I'm just being honest. Sorry. No, don't be sorry. It's just like, if you're Justin Bieber or Michael Jackson or Elvis, like, you know, maybe you have fans, but like, I have people that are adults or kids that choose to come follow and interact and connect and spend their hard-earned money on merch or support in some way, monetarily. So I like to say supporter or friend, because I really do consider people that come to all of our stuff a friend. You start to see them online, and I'm like, that's a friend of mine. Maybe I haven't even met them, but I really do legitimately look at them as a friend. So the same way that you're saying, when you interact with a supporter and they feel good, makes me feel good when a peer of mine isn't just taking the theme song and using it, or, oh, it's this song again, but like, they actually listen to it, or they send a picture of it on the radio, or, you know, their dash and their LED screen of, here's Goldilocks singing Dodging Bullets, or whatever it is. Like, that made me feel really good. She always made me feel validated and wanted, and she made me feel like I was her friend. And that's hard in any business, you know, to really, you know, if shit hits the fan and you're painted in a negative light for some reason, whether it's correct or not, how does that person respond to that? Do they come stand behind you or stand by you? Do they rally for you? Do they support you, or do they act like they do and then talk behind your back? Or how real are people? And I'm just all about real people. I'm too tired and been doing this stuff for too long to have any time for anybody's bullshit or wasting my time. So I really enjoyed all of the things that I did for Trinity, for Stephanie, because she reciprocated it in such a pure and beautiful way.
Fair enough. And, you know, that leads me into this question. I love asking this question to all my guests because it gets them thinking. I don't know if you do this on your show, but on my show, I love to hear my guests' suggestions. And this is for you. Who would you suggest me to get in contact with next to be on this show? From all your connections, from music to wrestling.
I just did Alan Funk. I would reach out to him. He was hysterical. Like, it was a really, really good show. And on top of that, I would tell you that in April, I'm going to ask as many of my guests that I'm not going to reveal who's in it, but once I do, you have to do your homework, sir, and figure out how many windows can you open up on Skype, or do you want to try StreamYard? Because I think you can do StreamYard's really easy. It connects to your YouTube channel, and I'm going to tell you how to do it.
Yes, please do.
You open up an account. Do you have one?
I do, yeah. I actually, while I was waiting for you to sort your problems out, I opened an account just in case you couldn't get it fixed on here. Because and I got an account, I opened it, but I don't have a clue what I'm doing on it. I connected my YouTube channel, and I don't know what I'm doing after that.
You can attach either your YouTube or like a Twitter or Facebook. I think it's YouTube or Facebook, and you just have to be careful when you start a new live stream. It might need to be private. Like, yours is live, but when I do mine, I switch it to private.
Gotcha.
It sometimes works for Facebook better than YouTube. Sometimes it works for YouTube better. If you're having an issue connecting and getting it to connect, try the other one. But once you're connected and you log in, it'll connect and it'll give you an icon. It'll say, do you want to connect StreamYard? And I connect mine through. It's a not highlighted icon of YouTube. And then all of a sudden you roll over it, you click on it, and it'll say, you know, private, public, unlisted, blah, blah, blah. You choose that and then just call it what it is. It'll say, click on the bottom to enter Edward into the broadcast room. It's a broadcast room. And then it'll say share, and it'll give you a link, and you can email that link to whomever. And then once they're in, they appear in the gray, in the unhighlighted on the bottom next to you. And then you click on their little plus sign to add them to the broadcast room. And then once you're ready, up at the top, it'll just say go live, and it takes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going live, and when you're done, you end. Don't end abruptly, just end it. Give it a beat. It'll ask you to review StreamYard, give it a thumbs up or down, And then what'll happen is when you go to your YouTube and it goes over to your beta or your creator, your editor, creative, there's a couple toggles over on the right. Enter into the beta studio, and then it'll say videos or live videos. You click on the live videos and it's listed down there, and you download it, and it's a really, really clean, even better audio for that than it is for Skype. Gotcha. So give it a practice sometime, or use it with me or whatever to try.
Yeah, I think
it's there. It's a really nice backup. It's cleaner audio than Skype. I think they use more megahertz. And I'm not sure. I think there's more people that you can add to it. I don't know how many windows you can add on Skype. And then also on StreamYard, you can toggle on the bottom of it to one person like this, or split screen, or 2 wide screens, or Gotcha. It gives you different options, and you just mouse it over while you're doing the podcast, and it records it that way. So give it a whirl.
I will, and I'm going to say that in April, tell as many people you like, because we will give it a go.
But no, that would be really, really great. In fact, yeah, that would be awesome.
If you want to test it before April, just in case I know what I'm doing, that's also fun as well. So we can do it as if I'm an expert by the time we do it in April. But yeah, let me know if you want to do it earlier than April. So that's fun for me as well.
No, I would love to. It's always good to grow and have different options and know how to do things.
Yes, because I'm quite old school. Even though I'm a young person, I'm actually quite old school to these social media. I've only recently learned how to do how to add tags in a story, and how to retweet stories from like on the feed by pressing a certain button, and you have to like at the username of where you got it from. So I've only learned that recently. So again, I'm quite old school on some social medias out there. So there you go. You wouldn't think so, but yes, I am. There we go. Is there any final words or anything you would like to say before we wrap this up? Because I know I don't want to say
perfect.
I don't want to say anything like without giving you a chance to say anything. You might think, "Damn it, I wish I said this before we ended."
No, I honestly, the only thing I was really wanting from your people, and you already did it. You left a comment on Goldilocks Black. Google it; it'll come up. The YouTube video. Give it a thumbs up. If you could subscribe, it's on Vince's channel. That would be great to support him. But I'm really looking for that YouTube comment, and I'm looking for you to either ask a question or let us know that you listened and found out about it on Edward Fowler show. That would be it. It's a nice cross promotion for everybody. It really helps. You never know who's going to see that. It would help Edward out, but it certainly would help out me and the band. And most importantly, it pushes the video up in the algorithm so that it's more visible. And if you're at work and you happen to hear this, like, grab somebody's phone and do the same thing. Google it, leave a comment. Would really appreciate it. Seriously, it costs nothing, but it just means the absolute world.
Yes, it does. It means that to the creator of the video to show you are supporting us in what we do, and it means the world. It means the world, and it's good.
Make sure you go interact with Edward. He's really doing a great job providing some cool content out there. You know, interact every day. Every other day. The next time you're on the turlet, which is where I'm heading right now before I go to work, because I can feel last night's dinner brewing. If you're just sitting there, get on there and do something to add some value to somebody else's day. Let Edward know that you're listening and that you're paying attention. And not only that, but tell a friend about the show. Tell a friend about Edward's show, and double up on your interaction there. That would be great. That'd be an awesome thing to do for him. Well, ladies and gentlemen across the pond, or wherever you're listening to this, and when I share it, and some of the people who are on our platforms and follow us over here, I want to thank you for over an hour of your time and listening.
I know, yeah. Because we do a lot of talking.
Yeah.
And I got one more thing to say to you as well before we can let you go. When I reached out to you and I sent you my YouTube link, what were your first impressions of my email when I sent you all the information about who I've had on in the past to why I wanted you on the show? Did you?
You were very, very thorough with, like, here are my intentions on having you on. You asked me all these questions that you said that you'd like to cover. I don't do that with my guests. I wing everything. I'm so completely lazy. You did a great job, way better than I did. That was my first impression.
Well, thank you.
You're very professional.
Well, thank you. And the thing is, I don't really know what to write in emails, so I just,
you did a great job.
So I put all this information in and see what happens. But there we go. But I loved it, and I can't wait to have you back on in April. It's a done deal, publicly.
You.
And we look forward to it, but we're going to end this now. So again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what you think about my interview with Goldy here. Let me know what your opinions were about our topics we discussed, and any suggestions you want me to talk with Goldy again on our next appearance in April on this very channel. Also, as well, check out our social medias, because there's going to be a video dropping in April on the Easter weekend. There's going to be some shocking people in it, so check it out. It's for a good cause, by the way, as well, so please do support that on our Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And until the next episode, which is a week today, with somebody who has had a tryout with WWE in the UK. She's in London. We're going to announce it in a few minutes on my Instagram account and Twitter as well, so make sure you follow me on both of them. My links are in the description below, but we're going to end this right now. So again, thank you so much to my guests. It's been a pleasure. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening or afternoon, depending where you are.
And I'm going to tell you one last person you should reach out to and let her know that I was on your show, unless you haven't ended yet. Maybe you have.
I'm not about to, but we're back.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
It's spelled Mayra, Myra Diaz, Dias, Gomez, Gomes. So Mayra, Myra Diaz, Dias Gomez, Gomes. She is one of the ballets who's training to wrestle with Billy Corgan's promotion. I would ask her to be on the show. She would do a beautiful job for you.
Interesting. I like it. And I'm glad you mentioned about Billy Corgan as well. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. I'm plugging his channel now. He did an interview with him recently, because you two are kind of in the same industry as well, music, and I'm guessing you met through music maybe, or did you just heard of him?
Both, everything, yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear then. But yeah, I'll definitely make contact, and thank you again, and enjoy again the rest of your day, everybody. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Edward. Signing off. Have a great one.
You too.